Good afternoon, children. Today you will revise chapter friction. Okay. After completion of the chapter, I will discuss question answer. All of you have read, children, that when an object moves or tends to move over the surface of another object, a force acts between the two surfaces in contact. This force is called फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स और फोर्स ऑफ फ्रिक्शन. एक ऑब्जेक्ट अगर दूसरे ऑब्जेक्ट, ये एक ऑब्जेक्ट है, इसका सरफेस ये है, ये दूसरा ऑब्जेक्ट है, इसका सरफेस ये है, अगर ये ऑब्जेक्ट इस पर मूव करना चाहता है तो इस दोनों के सरफेस के बीच में एक फोर्स काम करता है बच्चों. इसी को हम लोग कहते हैं फोर्स ऑफ फ्रिक्शन या फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स. इट इज़ अ कॉन्टैक्ट फोर्स. You have read, children, force is of two types, contact and non-contact force. So friction is a contact force. Okay. Now you will see, children, friction always opposes the motion, relative motion between the two surfaces in contact. दो सरफेस जो कांटेक्ट में रहता है बच्चों, इस दोनों के रिलेटिव मोशन को फ्रिक्शन अपोज करता है हमेशा. इट इज़ द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ फ्रिक्शन. Friction always opposes the relative motion between the two surfaces in contact. Now, what is the cause of friction? आपने पढ़ा है बच्चों that the surface of all objects are rough. Even you see the floor is very smooth. Even that smooth surface has bumps and depressions. Okay, they have irregularities. Suppose this is one object, this is other object. The surface of this object has irregularities and this surface has also irregularities, and these irregularities get interlocked with each other. This is interlocking and this is the cause of friction. So you can say that the cause of friction is interlocking of the irregularities of the two surfaces in contact. Okay, this is irregularity and this is interlocking, and this is the cause of friction. So you can say the interlocking of the irregularities of the two surfaces in contact is the cause of friction. Now, what are the factors that affect friction? There are two factors that affect friction. First factor is nature of the surfaces in contact, whether the surface is rough or smooth. If the surface is rough, then friction is increased. If the surface is smooth, then friction is reduced. Okay, children. So first is nature of the two surfaces in contact. Second factor is force pressing the two surfaces in contact. It means weight. If the weight is increased, friction will be increased. If the weight is decreased, friction will be decreased. So friction is directly proportional to weight. And or you can say second factor affecting friction is force pressing the two surfaces together. Okay, children. So these are the two factors on which friction depends. Now the next topic is types of friction. There are three types of friction: static friction, sliding friction and rolling friction. Okay, when a body is at rest and a force is applied on the body, this time the force of friction which comes into play is called static friction. Okay, children, means when the object is at rest and force is applied on it, then that time the force of friction is acting on the object. That force is static friction. Okay, static means स्थिर. ऑब्जेक्ट पर आप पुश कर रहे हैं लेकिन वो पुश नहीं हो रहा है, तो उस समय जो उस पर फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स काम कर रहा है उसको हम लोग कहते हैं स्टैटिक फ्रिक्शन. मैक्सिमम स्टैटिक फ्रिक्शन is called limiting friction. Maximum value of static friction is called limiting friction. Now next type of frictional force is sliding friction. When an object moves on the surface of other object, that time frictional force is acting is called sliding friction. So sliding friction means friction is acting when the object is moving on the surface. Sliding friction is less than static friction. Okay children. Now because in sliding friction these interlocking of the two surfaces are not there. The irregularities of the two surfaces are not interlocked. So sliding friction is less than static friction. Okay. Now next type of friction is rolling friction. When an object rolls over the surface of other object, that time friction is coming into play, that is called rolling friction, and rolling friction is less than sliding friction. So static friction is maximum, then sliding friction, and then rolling friction is least. Okay children. Now you will see friction is a necessary evil. Because friction is necessary, on one hand friction is necessary for, you have seen in our day to day activity, friction is very useful. We can walk on the ground due to friction. We can write on the blackboard, you can write on the page due to friction, because the ink stays on the paper or the chalk dust stays on the blackboard due to friction. And we can hold any object due to friction. So it is very essential in our life. We can say friction is a friend, but at the same time it is very harmful for us, because you have seen the soles of the shoes wear and tear, the parts of the machine wear and tear, and it causes reduction in the efficiency of the machine. It also causes loss of energy. Okay, so it causes monetary loss. Our sole of the shoes wear and tear, different parts of the machine wear and tear. Okay children, so you can say it causes monetary loss there, but without friction we cannot do. So we can say friction is a necessary evil. फ्रिक्शन को हम लोग नेसेसरी इविल कहते हैं. नेसेसरी इसलिए है कि हम अपने लाइफ में बहुत से काम के लिए फ्रिक्शन पर डिपेंड करते हैं. जैसे हम लोग चल सकते हैं ग्राउंड पर, फ्रिक्शन की वजह से हमारे पैर और ग्राउंड के बीच में फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स काम करता है, जिसके वजह से हम लोग आगे बढ़ सकते हैं. हम लोग ब्लैक बोर्ड पर लिख सकते हैं, आप पेपर पे लिख सकते हैं, क्योंकि इंक ठहरता है फ्रिक्शन की वजह से, और ब्लैक बोर्ड पर चॉक का डस्ट भी ठहरता है फ्रिक्शन की वजह से. उसी तरह से हम लोग किसी चीज़ को पकड़ सकते हैं फ्रिक्शन की वजह से. तो फ्रिक्शन के बगैर हमारा काम नहीं चलता है. फ्रिक्शन बहुत ज़रूरी है, लेकिन ये हार्मफुल भी है, क्योंकि आप देखते हैं कि बहुत सा मशीन का पार्ट जो है वो घिस जाता है, शूज का सोल घिस जाता है, और टायर भी हम लोगों को समय समय पर चेंज करना पड़ता है, क्योंकि टायर भी फ्रिक्शन की वजह से घिस जाता है. लेकिन लास्ट में आप देख रहे हैं कि बिना फ्रिक्शन के हमारा काम नहीं चल सकता है. एक तरफ ये ज़रूरी भी है, दूसरी तरफ हार्मफुल भी है. इसलिए हम लोग कह सकते हैं कि फ्रिक्शन एक नेसेसरी इविल है. ठीक है बच्चों. अब है नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, फ्रिक्शन, मेथड्स ऑफ इंक्रीजिंग फ्रिक्शन. हम लोग फ्रिक्शन को कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं. जैसे सोल्स ऑफ द शूज आर treated, we can increase friction by making the surface rough. For example, the soles of the shoes are treated, or the tires are treated. The soles of the shoes have grooves. सोल जो होता है शूज का या स्लीपर्स का, उसमें ग्रूव्स बने हुए होते हैं. टायर्स में ट्रेड्स बने हुए होते हैं. ये सब करने से क्या होता है, सरफेस रफ हो जाता है, एंड फ्रिक्शन कैन बी इंक्रीज्ड. ओके चिल्ड्रन, फ्रिक्शन कैन बी इंक्रीज्ड by making the surface rough. For example, you have seen the tires of the vehicles are treated to increase the friction. Similarly, the soles of the shoes or slippers have grooves to make the sole or of slippers or shoes rough, so that friction can be increased. So you can say that friction can be increased by making the surface rough. For example, sportsmen use spikes in their shoes for better grip while running. Sportsmen use a special type of shoes. These shoes have spikes so that they may have better grip on the road by increasing the friction. Okay, now you will see that how friction can be reduced. By what are the methods of reducing friction? First method is polishing, next is lubrication. You can say, children, friction can be reduced by making the surface smooth. Polishing is a way to make the surface smooth. For example, you have seen that we can make the surface smooth by using sandpaper. While making furniture, carpenters use sandpaper for rubbing the furniture, and by using sandpaper they can make the surface smooth. So this is polishing. Next is lubrication. Oil or grease like substance is called lubricant. Okay, and these oil or lubricant can make the surface smooth. Lubricants are of different types. Some are solid, some are liquid. Like you have seen, talcum powder is solid lubricant, whereas some are liquid. Oil is liquid lubricant. In this way you can say that lubricant is also used for reducing friction. So lubrication is a method of reducing friction. Okay, children. Now next is by using ball bearing. Ball bearings are used in rotating machine parts, and you have read, children, rolling friction is less than sliding friction, so it reduces friction. So you have read that there are mainly three methods of reducing friction. First method is oiling, or you can say first method is oiling or greasing. Next is polishing, and last one is ball bearing. These three methods make the surface smooth and can reduce the friction. Now you will read, children, fluid friction. Fluid friction is also called drag. Friction which is in liquid or gas, okay, that is called fluid friction, because you know fluid means which can flow. Substance which can flow is called fluid, like liquid and gas can flow. So fluid friction, when an object moves through a fluid, the friction offered by the fluid is called fluid friction. When an object moves through a fluid, object can move in water, object can move in the air, like you have seen that boat moves in the water, ship moves in the water, whereas aeroplane moves in the air. So you have seen that when an object moves through a fluid, fluid means it may be water, may be air, may be any other liquid. Okay, so when an object moves through a liquid or air, the friction applied by this liquid or air is called fluid friction. It is also known as drag. Okay, now what are the factors affecting fluid friction? First factor that affects fluid friction is nature of the fluid. Okay, children, for example, when you move a boat in the water, you will see how much frictional force is applied. If you move the same boat in the honey or in mustard oil, you will see how much frictional force is applied by these different liquids. So fluid friction depends upon nature of the fluid. Second factor is speed of the moving object. and third factor is shape of the moving object. These are the three factors. We have read the activity also, okay children, regarding this fluid friction depends upon the shape of the object. Okay, so with this your chapter is complete. You will revise it thoroughly. Now one topic is streamlined body. Okay children, streamlined body means spindle shaped body, bodies which are narrower at the two end and broader in the middle is called streamlined body. It is also called spindle shaped bodies. Spindle shaped bodies are called streamlined bodies. Now why some bodies are made streamlined? To reduce the friction and to acquire a higher speed. For example, you have seen aeroplanes fly in the air, and these are streamlined bodies. Front, it is narrower at the two end and broader in the middle. Similarly, you have seen the shape of fishes which swim in water. In water also there is friction, so the body is streamlined. Body of fishes, body of birds. Birds have also streamlined body to reduce the resistance of air and to acquire a higher speed. Okay, streamlined bodies help in reducing the friction of the fluid, and it also helps in acquiring higher speed. For example, you have seen children, birds, aeroplanes, fishes, boat, ship, all these bodies are made streamlined because they are moving either through air or through water, and both are fluids which provide frictional force. So to reduce frictional force and to have a better speed in water or air, they are made streamlined bodies. Okay children, with this your chapter is complete. All of you will revise it thoroughly and you will memorize keywords also. Thank you children.